You who has been pedigreed throughout, Doon School and then Delhi University, and then you went on to LEC London. All these places are prestigious places and legacy institutions that you chose. So, how was your academic journey here? Did you enjoy this learning?
I realized that my parents had done all this so that my grandfather could pull me into their business.
Okay, then what led you to the Doon School and teaching in education? What was that?
Not ask me, but ask us as parents that how many of you want your children to be doctors? So I think 50% of the hands must have gone up. Engineers, architects. And when he asked the question, how many of you want your children to be teachers, not a single hand went up. And that changed something in me.
What was inspiring for you in the classroom after 6 months when you called your company?
I thought there was a true connection, and I thought I could make a change. I saw the classrooms and the textbooks the same way when I was in school. So I said, this place needs a change. I fell in love with it. And let me tell you something, that my hand did not go up when they were asking the parents, would you like your children to be teachers? My son is a teacher now and he's joined Doon School. He's teaching there.
Hi, this is Ankur Vora, Intersect by Masters Union podcast series. Today we have with us yet another distinguished academician, Dr. Sanjiv Bathla from the Oasis School, Dehradun. Dr. Bathla, thank you so much for being here.
No, absolutely. Delighted to be here.
I first heard about you when Pratham spoke at the IB conference in Mumbai recently, and where he attributed Masters Union Learn by Doing to your teachings as a teacher to Pratham at the Doon School.
Right.
And then I had the honor to visit you recently at your school, to meet you personally and to invite you for our Delhi meetup that is being hosted today.
That's right.
Thank you so much for accepting our invite.
Thank you for having me over. Yes.
I had a real pleasure of visiting you and meeting you in Dehradun, and now to have you here is an honor for us.
So.
And this is, as I was telling you, we have been recording and publishing these podcasts. This is my 44th podcast. We have been blessed enough for the last 1 year to have very, very distinguished school principals, vice chancellors, entrepreneurs, institution builders who have come here on this podcast. The idea behind this podcast has always been you are all celebrated in your own communities, and you're all very distinguished people. But most of the times, we people that want to learn from your own journeys find it difficult to understand what brought you to where you are today. We will meet you at conferences and we'll have a nice 5-10 minute conversation over coffee. But then it does not go ahead with that. The podcast series was planned at Intersect to give people an idea of what are those not only qualifications, academic qualifications, but those life-changing milestones that a person has where he goes on to build a career like you have done. And having met you in Dehradun and learned about your own career trajectory from corporate to academia, from making the transition from working in the industry to going on to teach at the Doon School and then going out to set up institutions such as the Oasis in Dehradun, it makes for a fascinating conversation. So I'm so excited that we are here with you today. Dr. Sanjeev, if we can start with your early years. Let's spend 5 minutes on your early years. The city that you grew up in, the schools that you went to, any early impressions from your family that have stayed with you throughout and have shaped you silently, your character, your approach to life.
Right. I was put into a boarding school at the age of, I was not even 5 years old. Okay. So I've spent, yes, and in Dehradun. Okay. My dad was actually from the army background. He was wounded in the 62 war. Okay. He had his NDA and IMA experience, and perhaps Dehradun was something that got, ingrained into his mind, and he sent me to a boarding school, which is called Vellum Preparatory School at that point of time.
In Dehradun.
In Dehradun. So now it's called the Vellum Boys School.
Vellum Boys School.
And there was a transition. The transition was that there would be a common entrance exam, which would be for, you could give your preferences for Doon, Mayo, St. Paul's Darjeeling or Lovedale Ooty or Sanar, and there were various choices. So I got through a Doon entrance, and so I completed class 6 to my class 12. I finished school at the Doon school. Post that, led by my parents' thoughts, I wanted to actually get into a science stream, and perhaps I could have been a doctor or on the medical side. But they said, look, you've got to come into, you've got to become a chartered accountant, or, there's no scope that everybody is becoming a doctor, and this is the right thing to do, or you can give your civil services exams. So I left confused, did my BCom in Delhi University, and I left for an MBA to United Kingdom. I went to a college called London Executive College in Balham in London, and that's where I did my masters. That's where my parents could afford, so that's what it was.
And
but later on,
which years were
this was in 1987.
87.
When I finished college. So 87 to 89, I was there.
Okay.
Although I did my MBA Essentials from London School of Economics, and IIM much later.
Yeah.
But in those years, it was that. I came back, got opportunities at a bank, which was the city.
So before we enter your corporate life, I just want to emphasize a couple of points from this section of your life.
Right.
I mean, your career choice was made by you or by others?
No, actually, it was made by the environment. It was made by the family, and they would not let me make my career choice. So this is what...
this is what I want to emphasize.
I
think most of us in India, it is dictated by our social circle, our family, and even today in 2026, I think a lot of our children face the same dilemmas because there is information mismatch. Families only know that much, and this is 80s when you had no internet, no globalization, and I can only imagine. I mean, like we can fly to London
and zero knowledge of what is happening in universities.
What are the world. Now we talk about careers of the future, and we talk about what programs, what is the ROI at that point of time in 80s. I mean, as a young student, you will follow what the elders and especially you who has been pedigreed throughout. I mean, Doon School and then Delhi University, and then you went on to LEC London. All these places are prestigious places and legacy institutions that you chose. So, how was your academic journey here? I mean, did you enjoy this learning?
Yes,
what are the impressions?
I began to enjoy more than my academic learning. What I enjoyed was understanding ecosystems. I started understanding what happens in corporates, because I did get an exposure to work with a bank.
In London?
In London.
Okay.
So that was Barclays. I got the internship because they were... So I realized that how different academia is to the industry. So I began the curiosity, actually, that's where curiosity for learning and trying different things, to take risks. I already decided that I will probably not do, it gave me choices of, or at least it made me learn what not to do rather than what to do.
So, and London would have opened the world for you. I mean, the experience of just being in a city like London.
It did. It was depressing for various reasons, but it did. I did come back, and
then you joined corporate. Now
I realized that my parents had done all this so that my grandfather could pull me into their business.
Okay.
So gradually all these things opened up, and I realized, look, this is not what I'm going to do. So I left home.
So you didn't want to join your family business?
I did not want to. I did that for about a year, and I realized that this is not...
And what business was this?
This was an hire purchase leasing. It was a very traditional business.
In Dehradun?
The older part of Delhi. On Roshnara Road.
Okay.
And, so this is something which I was afraid of, and it truly happened. So I gave them that year. I said, look,
let me try.
I have to find my
And then,
own
but
feet.
it didn't work out, and then you left home.
I left home. I left home and I joined. Somebody had met at the club in the pool, who was looking to partner and open branches of his logistics company in the Middle East. So when I looked at his model, I realized that he needs more strength within the country. And I said, why don't you open your branches? You do have something in Delhi and Bombay. Why don't you open in the south? So he said, who is going to go to Madras? So that time, anything beyond south, in south, everything he would call as Madras. Correct. So anyway, I went to the south. I went.
So you were the person who went to.
I went to Bangalore. I went to Bangalore because for him, even that was, anything south was very unknown to a lot of people. So I went to Bangalore. I set up a little office in a garage. I took a home on rent, and my office began in a little garage there.
So this
A
was
logistic
you're building a business in partnership.
in partnership, but in a manner that I was taking all the risk, the financial risk, and the so my school network. That's where my
At
school
Doon school.
network, my college network. That's what came in handy, and I met a whole lot of people in Bangalore who gave me the opportunities to enter their offices and start the logistics
That's
work.
so important.
And once they realized that there was quality and there was price value in what I did, we grew we grew exponentially.
And which years were these?
This was in 91. I went to Bangalore in 91. So 91.
91. And how long were you building?
I
this
was
business?
there with this logistics company for 10 years.
10 years.
10 years.
Okay.
So 7.5 years in Bangalore. I opened a branch for them in Chennai, and I opened a branch for them in Cochin as well.
Okay.
So I was with this company for 10 years. Then I came back to their head office as director marketing and finance.
So you loved South.
I loved South. It was very nice. It was a different dimension.
And Bangalore traffic would have been much easier.
There was no traffic.
There was no traffic.
I stayed in a place in Koramangala.
Okay.
And that time it used to be called Cobramangala because there would be one house and nothing yeah, it was like that.
Wow. Now we can't even imagine.
You can't even cross the road now.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I recently was at Bangalore, and from airport to the city it took me 4 hours. It is crazy. And traffic, but that people tell me, the old timers, that Bangalore was a very beautiful city, less traffic, very less polluted, with nice weather.
Truly beautiful forested city, garden city, what they used to call it. It was truly that. And
so you enjoyed your time in Bangalore, and then Kochi also, you mentioned you.
Correct. So I opened a branch for them in Cochin. Of course, we got another partner there, and we got another partner for Chennai. So 3 places in the south.
Business was doing well.
Very well. And in fact, that's the time my partner said, look, now you need to come to the head office and you need to control all the 5 branches and bring some uniformity to the entire set.
Okay.
And that's when I came to Delhi.
And this was in 2000?
This was in 1999.
99. You came to
end
Delhi.
of 99, I was here.
And then, I just want to now also cover the transition for you to this. Is very interesting, the inflection point when you were building this business, doing very well for a decade. You were there with them and growing. Then what led you to the Doon School and teaching and education? What was that experience?
I felt I'd peaked here, and there was a need to do something different. What happened was my children. My son got into a school and my daughter got into a different school, and I didn't want that to happen. So I put them to a school which is an alternative learning, which is called Mirambika here.
Mirambika, yes.
Yeah, that's on the Aurobindo ashram and
Aurobindo approach to education.
So right next to Mothers International, right opposite IIT. So I put them in Mirambika. And at one parent-teacher meeting, we're all sitting together and somebody asked me, not asked me, but asked us as parents, that how many of you want your children to be doctors? So I think 50% of the hands must have gone up. Engineers, architects. And when he asked the question, how many of you want your children to be teachers, not a single hand went up. And that changed something in me.
That moment.
That moment changed me. And I said, look, this is something that needs to be done. So I applied. I said, let me see where I can get a schooling experience. Let me see what's happening in schools. And that's when I applied to the Doon School.
And you were coming from a corporate background and
Absolutely.
no experience in teaching, and like in
No
India, the
experience.
education is
I
very
had to
rigid.
do my B.Ed, I had to do my
and all
MA,
that.
I had to do all that.
So you
later.
did all that also.
I have to.
Wow.
I had to do it.
Yeah.
I had to
So
do
that that meeting changed.
that meeting changed everything. And when I applied to the Doon School,
yeah.
the headmaster was Mr. Mason, and he says there was a panel of people who interviewed me, and I got through the job, and he offered me 7,000 rupees in 2000 as a teacher.
7,000.
I got a shock.
Yeah.
Because my company was looking after me. The corporate was, whether it was club bills being paid or whether it was my apartment rentals.
You have that a different kind
It
of
was
lifestyle.
totally, I was being totally looked after, and this came as a shock. So I did get cold feet, and I did not take up the job in 2000.
Okay.
And a year later, he called me up again. He says, Sanjiv, you'll be very happy that the salaries have gone up, and I'm willing to offer you 10,000 rupees. I said, okay, hold on, sir. I'm coming to meet you.
Okay.
Because I was also thinking, I did need this break. I did want to see what happens in school, and it intrigued me to go and see. So he says, you got to do at least a year. And I took a sabbatical of 6 months from my company.
In which year was this? 2001?
This was 2001.
Okay.
So I took a sabbatical, 6 months sabbatical from my company, saying that, look, I'm trying something. Give me that moment. And believe me, I took up the job. And 6 months later, I wrote back to the company, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And I did not get back to the corporate.
Okay.
And I remained, and that's the beginning. At the age of 35, I became a teacher. I became a schoolmaster.
And I believe you were teaching management?
I was teaching economics, commerce, and so management came a little later when they introduced the IB. Okay. So economics and management.
And you were there for 12 years, and
I was a little over 12 years.
12 years, and then there you impacted so many lives. I mean, Pratham is a real example of. So what was inspiring for you in the classroom after 6 months when you cabled or called your company
I thought there was a true connection, and I thought I could make a change. I saw the classrooms and the textbooks the same way when I was in school. So I said, this place needs a change. And this place needs a real connection to the world outside, and not what is just being taught in the textbooks. So I used to walk in to an economics class or a management class with a newspaper, and I would pick up a topic from there. And we would really try and find out what is happening, even briefly. I was exposing children to understand, look, there is a world outside, and how management is really working or economics is really working. What is changing things on a daily basis? So that's it. It was real world. I was actually taking them out to insurance companies. I took them out to retail shops, including a small Coca-Cola or a pawn shop, where they understood that how business starts on a little space, and how large it can be. So I called a lot of people to talk into that. Was unheard of. So I was calling people. So like now we are connecting the industry. We are having corporate people coming into teach in colleges. So I had begun that in school as well. So I started calling people to talk about.
So you really fell in love with teaching. Bridging this gap between industry, academia.
And let me tell you something, that my hand did not go up when they were asking the parents that, would you like your children to be teachers? My son is a teacher now, and he's joined Doon School. He's teaching there.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So happy to hear that.
So
what's his name?
Siddharth Bathla.
Oh, wow. At the Doon School?
At the Doon School. Wow. So he came in this January, and he's teaching.
Congratulations. Yes. God bless you. So amazing, inspiring story. And as I said, I mean, we need more people like you, teachers like you. I mean, a couple of things that I want to mention and highlight again for our viewers is that, I mean, even today, I mean, how many of us would want our kids to become teachers? I mean, that number is very low. And B, I mean, to ensure that the teacher is inspired and connecting the industry and academia for the classroom, whichever classroom it can be. And the way you just spoke, I mean, just bringing in the newspaper and, let's discuss this and how does it connect to the
Just
theory.
starting small.
Just start small. I mean, we do
right.
not need to think about big things and wait for some, apple to fall from tree and then start it. I mean, you can even start it at very uh, small steps. And I think even I was at IIM Ahmedabad recently for a school leaders program where they were talking about the case method of how the case method became the kind of bridging the industry academia gap, where you bring in the real world case studies. And their professor, I mean, Saral Mukherjee, who runs the case center, he also mentioned that it does not have to be a case for you to bring it into class. It can be just be a newspaper. And what you were doing in those years is absolutely what even IIM Ahmedabad others do. So, sir, amazing. So, Doon School, a little over 12 years you spent there and impacted so many students. And we are a testament to this. I mean, Masters Union grew out of Pratham's learning at your class. So, I mean, kudos to you and your approach. Then, after Doon School, what was it that you were transitioning to?
See, opportunities kept coming. When you're there, people do knock, and the opportunities knock. Uh, People ask you to come and join different schools at different levels. So that began. That had begun 5 years down the line of teaching. So people would approach me.
Yeah.
Somehow, schools that were already running did not attract me so much. Even later on, I almost signed on, just the signature was left when Dr. Savesh Naidu from Pathway said, "Now, Sanjiv, you're coming as a senior principal here at Aravali's."
Okay, Ravli's.
Yes, and then I'm leaving in 2 years. You can move up at a director level.
Right.
So even that kind of an opportunity I refused. So initially, these opportunities were coming from different schools, but when an opportunity came to create a new school,
That is what you were excited about.
that's what excited me. And this is the third school I've created.
Okay, I mean the Oasis. And
Oasis
before
is
this,
no, this is the third one.
so before this, the other two schools that you created?
It was a Shriram franchise in
Okay.
Dehradun.
Oh,
It's
Dehradun.
called the Shriram Sentinel. So I was the first.
Oh, Shriram Sentinel. Oh.
So I was the founding principal for that. I was there for 4 years. I learned a lot. Being the principal,
The founding
as a principal, I learned a lot. And that learning I
So
took
the Shriram Sentinel, yes, you became the founding principal after the Doon. You
after
went-
Doon.
Okay.
After Doon.
In Dehradun.
In Dehradun itself. Then I went to Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
So the chief minister of Bhubaneswar, Naveen Patnaik, he was looking for giving land to certain institution, and he said, "I want something like the Doon School there."
Okay.
So a school in Bhubaneswar, already running school in Bhubaneswar, took that piece of land and started looking for teachers from the Doon School who had some experience as a principal. So I was one of the candidates.
Yeah.
And I said, "Look, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to take it as a consultancy. I don't know the culture." And that's exactly what I did. I took a 1-year contract to start a residential school, which is doing beautifully well, for a school called the Sai Group.
Yeah, Sai
Dr.
Group.
Sahu.
हाँ,
So,
बिल्कुल.
unfortunately, he passed away in
Sorry to
COVID,
hear
but that's the place I
Okay,
went to.
okay.
And I started their residential school. I set up their systems, the SOPs, all that has been done
Amazing.
by me. Their spaces, how the boarding houses and the classrooms and the studios, all that need to look like. And then they brought in a headmaster to run, and I came back.
Amazing. And both are fantastic institutions. I mean,
Yeah.
Sai, though, we have had people from Sai coming for Intersect and
Right,
visiting us.
right. Okay.
And our teams go to Sai schools, and we have students from Sai.
So I was kind of instrumental
Amazing.
in the
Amazing.
initial setup of
Wow.
the residential
Residential
school, not their day school. that
But
was running.
thank you for letting us know that it was modeled on the Doon School. I mean, the chief minister wanted something like
Correct.
that.
He wanted
So,
something like that. So that was the story behind it, for
Behind
him giving that
yeah.
piece of land
to Sai.
to Sai Group. Yes.
Hare Krishna. And amazing, sir. So now we come to the Oasis story. You coming back to Dehradun, or you
Correct.
were?
So I'm on my way back, and there's an opportunity at the Doon School for a deputy headmaster. There's an opportunity at Pathways, which Dr. Sarvesh Naidu is already talking to me about. And he says, look, you've got to do this. And this is just absolutely, we need people like you. So there I was having lunch with the Jains, the family, and I took the papers. I said, just give me some time to think, please. I just need this time to think. The Oberois from Dehradun had already got in touch with me before I had left for Bhubaneswar, that look, we are going to begin a school. Whenever you're back, please let us know. We want, to start something with you. So when I came back to Dehradun, just the hills, the home, something. And again, that creativity that I am going to be able to create yet another institution, that's what kept me in Dehradun. It wasn't the money. It was what motivated me was that I'm getting space and I can create something.
God bless you.
So that's what I said. I'm going to create an experiential school and I'm going to do something different. I want this valley, I want these mountains, I want this river flowing.
Wonderful location. I want the river flowing.
These
right
are my assets.
Yeah.
And I said we're going to begin with organic farming here. We are going to.
And which year was this?
This was in 2018.
2018. And you were mentioning about organic farming and
we've
all.
We've got all that going. We've got a dairy farm. We've got about 56 cows.
Yeah.
We've got a organic farm where we've got vermiculture. We're setting up a gobar gas plant. We've got water harvesting. And in all these projects, the children have been involved and engaged.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're learning.
That's where you wanted.
That's where they're learning science. That's where they're learning mathematics. They're putting things together. They're putting seasons together. They're putting climate change together. So it's very exciting. Yeah. So I've been there 9 years now.
9 years. As a founding principal?
As a founding principal. Wow. I got a place to create. And that's exactly one of the reasons I did not join a fantastic opportunity of Pathways.
Pathways.
Yes.
So you are somebody who has always believed in learning by doing, experiential education. I mean, your whole career, starting from Doon School to Sriram Centennial to Sai, and now with the Oasis. May I ask you, why do you think it is important for students to learn by doing? Why do you think it is very important?
See, the world is changing, and I think this song keeps ringing in my head. Song written by Roger Waters in 1979, "A Brick in the Wall, We Don't Need No Education." The song was written by Waters for Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, yes.
And can you imagine that they were trying to say something? They were protesting against rigid school systems that were, following a blind kind of obedience. And that's what I felt needs to change, and something needs to be done. So experiential learning, of course, was that I wanted a school without any classrooms. Even today, I want schools with studios, like a theater studio, a photography studio, a learning studio, where children of different age groups can come together. So not based on
rigidity.
Age classroom, but on personalized learning. So if you have a coding studio, if you have a science studio or a lab or physics lab,
intellectually stimulating environment,
or a STEM lab, so we've been able to create many of these
those kind of
studios. A bibliothèque is being created now. As I speak to you in school this month, we are creating a bibliothèque where children of different age groups can sit together, and that takes away the question of how to make your school inclusive.
Yeah.
Because children of any age group, it doesn't matter how much they know, they don't have to be a brick in the wall.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can learn. So learning is becoming personalized, and that's what I want to do. And that's why I'm taking it more and more experience. We have a project with Nagar Nigam. They are understanding how it works, how our nation works, how our nation functions through a small project like this. They're just getting to their offices.
Project-based learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I mean, more power to you. I can go on, but
Right. No.
the
Absolutely.
time is
Yes.
limited.
Yes.
I just want to end by, you know, understanding or learning from you your experience about what we are trying to do here at Masters Union. And Pratham is your student, and we are trying to build something like learn by, absolutely on the lines of learn by doing.
Correct.
So, how do you will say a few words about what we are trying to build here and Pratham is trying to do here?
I think something excellent, something which surprised me, and I said, wow. And that a student of mine has done it. I was very happy to hear.
Thank you.
I am getting to know more about this university and this setup.
The moment you walked in,
And
you said,
I
this is a
just
corporate tower.
loved it.
Yeah.
I just loved it. I loved it because your style is again studio style.
Yeah.
That you can
Yes,
sit down.
absolutely,
You
we
can
love
sit
it.
down and even a meal, having a meal could be a learning experience.
Yes. Absolutely.
So discussions can happen anywhere. Learning can happen
Yeah,
anywhere,
anywhere.
and
Even in the elevator.
at your pace, at the elevator.
Yeah.
I just love this place.
So I would like
Yes.
to, on behalf of the Masters Union community, I would like to thank you for teaching Pratham learn by doing and
No,
being.
he was a good student, and
being,
he was a motivated learner, and that's what's got him here.
Yeah. And he talks. I've spent some time with Pratham traveling, and he talks. I mean, wherever he goes, he talks about his experience at the Doon school, and then he talks about learn by doing, about the approach you had to education, and then he spoke about that in front of 1,000+ principals at the IB conference. So
Amazing.
I think we want to thank you, and thank you for taking time out and
No.
flying in from Dehradun today.
Thank you for
Intersect.
having me over, and I think you're a wonderful host.
Looking forward to having you with us, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste. That's what we do in Oasis. Yes.
Namaste.